Today, I'm going to show you how to solve this question by using two methods. The first method, as shown here, is non-preemptive shortest job first, and the second method will be preemptive shortest job first. Alright, let's start with the first method, non-preemptive shortest job first. First step, we have to create a Gantt chart and start with the 0 second. And why we have to create this Gantt chart is because we can see how the process execute in a simple way. And now we have to check which process is arrived in the 0 second. Here is the arrival time of the process, and P3 will be chosen because it has arrival time 0, so P3 will execute 3 ms. After P3 is executed, now we have to check which process is arrived in between 3 ms. It's P1 and P2. Both have the same arrival time with 2. If two processes have the same arrival time, then we have to check on their burst time. But in this question, these both processes have the same burst time with 4. So lastly, we have to check on their priority. The lower priority will be chosen to be executed first. So P2 have the lower priority, which is 1 compared to P1. So P2 will be executed with 4 ms. After P2 finish its execution, the next process will be P1. Maybe some of you are curious why we not choose P4 but P1. It's because P1 have the lower number of arrival time compared to P4. So P1 will execute with 4 ms. After P1 is executed, the next process will be P4, and the last process to be executed will be P5. And P4 will execute with 5 ms. And last one is P5. Alright, the total time used to finish the execution is the same with the total burst time. Make sure there is no differences between these two. If there is differences, maybe you are doing wrong already, so you have to check again. Sorry for the small mistake here. Here P1 actually is stand for P3, it's not P1. Sorry. Now we have to solve the waiting time for each process. So let's start with the process 1. So now we have to look at the P1. P1 is 7 here, and 7 have to minus with its arrival time. Its own arrival time is not the other processes, but it's only P1. P1's arrival time. So 7 will minus 2 and to get 5. So the following will be P2. P2 here is 3 and its arrival time is 2, so 3 minus 2 and get 1. And the following is P3. P3 equal P3 is 0 and minus 0, so equal to 0. P4 is equal to So P4 here is 11, and this 11 have to minus its own arrival time, which is 7. And the answer is 4. And the P5 here is P5 has 16 and minus its own arrival time, which is 8. So 16 minus 8 in equal to 8. And now we have to solve the average time. And how to solve this average time is actually total out the waiting time of each process, which is 5, 1, 0, 4, and 8, and divide with how many process you have in the execution. In this question, we have 5 processes, so we will divide 5. So here we go, and 5 plus 1 plus 0 plus 4 plus 8 and bracket, and divide with 5, and the sum of the waiting time is 18 divided by 18 divided by 5. So the final answer is 3.6 ms. So this is how we do the non-preemptive shortest job first. So now I'm going to show you how to solve this question by using the other methods, which is preemptive shortest job first. The first step is still the same. First, we have to create a Gantt chart start with 0 second. And what is this preemptive mean stand for? Is if there is an interruption occur when a new process is arrived, the execution of the process will stop immediately. Alright, and now we have to find out which process is arrived in 0 second, and it's P3. So P3 was chosen to be executed first. And here show the difference between preemptive shortest job first and non-preemptive shortest job first. Preemptive shortest job first will stop when a new process is arrived, even still have some time not execute. So P3 will stop the execution on 2ms because there's 2 processes arrive, which is P1 and P2. And now we have to check which process have the lower arrival time. It's P3 because P3 has 0 arrival time. So P3 will finish its execution with 1 ms only. And why P3 only execute with 1 ms is because on the previous state, P3 already executed 2 ms and left with only 1 ms. So here's the reason why P3 only execute 1 ms on this stage. Sorry for the small mistake here. Actually, this P1 is P3. I write it wrong already. Sorry. After P3 finish its execution, now we have to check after 3 seconds which process will be executed. Because now we already found 2 processes arrived on 2 ms, which is P1 and P2. Because both have the same arrival time, so we have to check their burst time. The process which have the lower burst time will choose to be executed first. But in this question, both processes have the same burst time. So we have to check their priority. The lower the priority will be chosen to be executed first. So P2 have the lower priority, which is 1. So P2 will be chosen to be executed first. P2 will finish its execution because there's no more new process is arrived between 4 to 7. So P2 will finish its execution with 4. After P2 finish its execution, P1 will execute 1 ms only because there's new process arrive on 8 ns, which is P5. After 8 ms, we can see there's no more new process is arrived here. So we can finish the execution of the process when it's executed. So the next process to be executed is P1, following by P4, and lastly will be P5. So now we are going to calculate the waiting time of the process. So let's start with P1. Process 1 have 7 ms, so we will minus its arrival time, which is 2. So P1 well, is equal to 7 minus 2, and the answer will be 5. Second P2 P2 have 3 ms here, and it will minus its arrival time, which is 2. So the answer will be 1. And the next one is P3. P3 start with 0, and its arrival time is 0. So 0 minus 0 is also 0. And the fourth one, P4 start with 11, and it will minus its arrival time, which is 7. So 11 minus 7 is 4. The last one will be P5. So P5 has start time with 16, so it will minus its arrival time, which is 8. So 16 minus s will be 8. Now we are going to calculate the average time. And calculate the average time is the same. We have to total up all the waiting time of the process and divide with the processes that we have. So here we have 5 processes, so we will divide 5. And first we have to total up them. 5 plus 5 plus 1 plus 0 plus 4 plus 8, and divided by 5, and will be 18 divided with 5, and the final answer will be 3.6 ms. So that's the end of the preemptive shortest job first.